It's Tolstoy, War and Peace. 5 stops to Clapham's not going to make a dent.
It's nice to have something of my own going on.
Dave!
Who the hell is Dave?
You know who Dave is.
Really wanted to win this, didn't you? Didn't you? This is the Scene Podcast by Get Over It Productions. And welcome to the first episode of The Scene Podcast, a series of little plays brought to you by Get Over It Productions. Twice a year, we produce a festival of short pieces of new writing at our local fringe theatre in West London. And The Scene Podcast is our latest lockdown initiative to give those little plays a bit of a life beyond the stage. I'm Sassy.
I'm Valencia.
And I'm Paula.
That's right, and Paula is not a tiny robot. She's a voice on the phone because as we continue to observe lockdown rules, this was the only way the three of us could record this introduction together.
And each week we'll release a tiny little play, or a pod play, as we're affectionately calling them, which you'll be able to find on iTunes, Spotify, or Get Over It Productions YouTube channel. Please do all the followy, subscribey, typey behaviour things to make sure that you never miss an episode.
Also, please leave us a review and any feedback you'd like us to hear so that we can keep on getting better and better at this.
So, without further ado, our very first episode is called Captain, written by the very talented Kevin Jones.
It's set in a courtroom where an investigation is underway into the events surrounding a shipwreck that saw a very expensive government-owned cargo liner find its way to the bottom of the sea. Ooh.
That's right, and the captain of the ship is being grilled by a courtroom official, the Investigator, and as she presents more and more pieces of her gathered information, it starts to become clear that there is more to this captain than meets the eye.
Sounds intriguing. I want to know more.
Me too.
Well, then, you'll have to listen, and you can do so right now. Here it is, Captain by Kevin Jones.
So, tell us, Captain. Tell us about the events of September the 16th, 2017 that led to the damage of the cargo ship 2Z327 Pamela. The vessel that you were in fact in charge of on her maiden voyage.
Well, as you know, there was no actual cargo on the ship. It was only supposed to be a dry run. Well, shortly after 1400 hours, we collided with the rocks, resulting in an enormous gash along the ship's hull. Water began flooding in, and so, of course, I ordered the Mayday signal, and the local Anglesey Coast Guard came and rescued us.
And the ship?
You mean Pam?
Yes.
Well, she sank.
Something is confusing me. These rocks. How did you not detect them? The 2Z327 was fitted with the latest infrared and GPS radar. Satellites monitored your every position.
It was switched off.
What?
For part of the equipment testing.
Is that standard procedure?
No, it's something I've added.
Huh?
Well, it's a more modern approach. I find it's good sometimes to shut all the electronics down and feel the weight of the ship in the ocean. Like it's a living thing. You can feel it breathe. Up and down, up and down, and up and down, up and down.
But who was monitoring for potential danger at this time?
Up and down.
Captain?
Up.
Captain!
I kept a lookout.
You?
Yes. And then suddenly, the weather just turned. Out of nowhere. It was a massive, full-on storm. Waves were kicking up 50 feet high. It was incredible.
Yes, I read that in your original report. Very colourful.
Well, it was all very unfortunate. But if that's it, I better be...
Where are you going?
Oh, we're not done?
Not yet. We retrieved your original captain's log from the wreckage. Your cabin remained sealed in. It's watertight.
Oh, that's lucky.
On examining the log, we discovered that some pages had been torn out.
Oh, I'd probably written some notes. It was nothing,
And we found the missing pages in your bin. Ripped up into tiny pieces. A forensics team has been slowly sticking them back together.
Well, I don't think there's any value in...
I feel sunk through to my soul. My body pulled apart.
Ah, see, that's my handwriting for you. It's bloody illegible. It probably means something to...
My lips tremble. The salt water stings like the bitter memory of yesterday's promise for a better tomorrow.
Look, maybe I should type it up properly for you.
And we found something else. Tucked away in the pages of the log. It appears to be an application form for Open Circle, a regional poetry writing competition.
Oh.
We also have testimonies from several crew members who state that in the moments leading up to the accident, as the weather changed, your response was not, as would be expected, from a captain with your authority. Rather than give orders to put the radar back online or steer the ship away from the imminent danger, you became remote. As if hypnotized by the rising waves. One crew member stated that you seemed awe-inspired and tearful, as if trying to reach for a word that was slightly out of reach.
Well, I was probably just,
Or daydreaming?
No, I wouldn't say I was...
When challenged by other crew members, you answered back, "You don't know, you bunch of squares. She don't know what she knows. She's coming. She's coming for all of us."
I was referring to the waves.
As she?
Well, it was all quite biblical, I suppose.
Yes, overwhelming.
Yes.
Inspiring.
Yes. Oh, no.
Because you did become inspired, didn't you, Captain? The captain suddenly burst with energy and began screaming, "Get me a pencil! I need a pencil!" Even as the control room filled with water. You were thinking about your poems, weren't you?
Oh, of course not.
The Coast Guard stated that you refused to get into the helicopter until the pilot gave you his pen. You put the whole crew at risk.
I was worried that I
What? Forget the words?
No, that I did...
Because the competition deadline was the next day, wasn't it?
Yeah, but that's not why
You really wanted to win this, didn't you? Didn't you?
Look, I've just got to...
What?
Get things down. Words. Stuff. I find it stimulating.
But you were in charge of a brand new £3 billion ship! How much more stimulation do you need?
Look, Pam is a lovely ship. Well, she was. But at the end of the day, she's the company ship. It's nice to have something of my own going on as well.
Like a pet project.
Kinda.
Gardening's my hobby. I have an allotment.
So whatever floats your boat. That's not the best metaphor, sorry.
And what about Chief Engineer Duncan? He broke his leg in the collision. He'll likely be off for months. He's got a family to feed, you know.
Look, and I feel bad about that, all right? I do. I didn't mean for anyone to get hurt. I just got a bit carried away. Bit of a cock-up, really.
Yes, a bit.
I'm sorry. I'm really sorry.
Taking everything into account, we're stripping you of your duties and ranking with immediate effect. You'll never work in the naval or shipping industries ever again. Years of training and promotion just down the drain. We don't need wasters like you.
Hey, I am no waster.
Get out of here.
There is just one more,
Oh, what?
Open Circle, the poetry competition. Well, I won.
So?
I got a trophy with my name on it, and it gave me a warm glow inside.
A warm glow? We'll sue you for criminal neglect.
I am standing on the deck, looking out to sea. She rumbles. She's awoken. And I know she's come for me.
Is that supposed to impress?
I am in the lioness roar, in the vortex turning. I am bending, I am breaking, I am shaking, I am bursting.
We'll take you for every penny you've got.
I am at the gates of Hades. Final voyage of goodbyes. Do not pity. Do not question. Shed no tear, for when I die...
We will ruin you. I will personally see to it that you never...
And in my final moments, dragged down into the sea, even though I am drowning, I know that I'm...
Ha! You can't remember, can you?
No, it's just a line tweak. Thanks. And in my final moments, dragged down into the sea, it is you, not I, who is drowning. 'Cause you're stuck here, but I'm set free.
Captain by Kevin Jones was produced by Get Over It Productions, with sound design by the absolutely bloody brilliant Janno Media. In this episode, Captain was played by Duncan Watkinson, and the Investigator was played by Sassy Clyde. Thank you very much for listening to the Scene podcast by Get Over It Productions. You know, we have really high hopes for the launch of this podcast. We're an extremely popular theatre company. I mean, people literally sit at home waiting to see what our next moves will be. So it was very important to us that we chose precisely the right time to launch this first episode.
And then after that, I think all hell broke loose for a bit.
Thank you very much for listening.